Okay, how is everybody doing today? Here we are back again on the MLB show for another episode of Diamond Dynasty, and I know it's been a while since I've mentioned a lot of this stuff at all, but here we are on the Conquest map, and basically I know you guys are probably freaking out because I'm already so far through it, and I have so many fans, and they have so many fans, and I'm doing way too much on it, and I shouldn't be putting as much effort into it, or I should be not taking as many turns or whatever. But that's fine with me for today. It's my first go through it, and I'm just trying to take it slow and learn. And since we do get rewarded for doing it a second time, I will make sure I do go through it again thoroughly and help you guys out if you guys are struggling yourselves with it at first. But today we are going to be taking on one of the many Blue Jays strongholds that I had to face, and we're playing it on rookie since we have so many fans. And I'm just going to go through my lineup just so you guys can get an understanding of where my team's at right now. So we got BR, shortstop. Griffey is playing center. Arenado is playing third. You saw my poll. Steve Pearce playing first base. Steve Pearce has a lot of power. I really recommend picking him up. Brandon Crawford at second. JD Martinez is playing right field. Jose Ramirez is playing left field. He's pretty good as well. Posada is my catcher. He shouldn't be in there much longer. What's to do his missions. We got our pitcher batting ninth. Who is going to be for the day? Scott Kazmir. Scott Kazmir is a lefty with a variety of pitches. I definitely do like his selection. He's got a good fastball. He keeps the changeup down, and he has a lot of break on his pitches, which is really important. I feel like in any mode you play. They have Liriano. I know a lot of the time people can get scared when they face the CPU about how their pitch count with their pitcher is so much lower than the CPU's, and that's just because as we get a nice bloop single with VR here, it's because that's just because the CPU on rookie especially and easier difficulties give you easier pitches to hit. Nothing to concern about. You're just getting an easy shot at winning the game. Go into more depth with at the end of the video. But for right now, we're looking to do a lot on the Blue Jays, get a lot of stats achieved, and just do a lot of things around the base path, including stealing bases with my Jonathan VR with 98 speed. So right now, Ken Griffey's at bat, 81 overall version, got him for pre-ordering. And basically, as of now, I do have the 84 overall version, but we will get gameplay with him once I do complete my missions with the 81. That's ground ball. Out, was not able to move VR down to third, and they do try to check on the runner there. But here, right now, Nolan Arenado is at the plate. He is my best hitter, a diamond. We saw the poll. And he's batting my third spot. That's just normal. He does not have the best at-bats every once in a while. But a lot of people don't give Arenado credit for the defensive abilities this card has. So you'll see more of that later on. But here's Steve Pearce. Like I said, he has power. That's why I thought it would fit to put him in the cleanup spot. But right now, I'm really thinking of putting JD Martinez there. He's batting over 500 for me, literally, and he's played almost as many games as these other guys have. And he has almost the same amount of home runs as my leader has. But on this pitch, we do take it outside and high, making sure that we do not just swing at anything. I know it's very important to take pitches, but here we go. Steve Pearce takes a hanging fastball. It somehow hung, but he crushed it nonetheless. And right there, he just did everything he possibly could. Steve Pearce, that was a two-seamer that didn't have a lot of speed on it, I feel like, and it was just right there for Steve Pearce to go ahead and crush. So that's what I said. He's a great power hitter. Here's Brandon Crawford, another great defensive shortstop who's at second base for me. He just misses a home run. He tends to hit a lot of opposite field bombs for me. And that's only because I feel like when I swing, it takes a little bit longer for him to maybe get his swing around or make contact with the ball. So you might want to swing a little earlier than you might with other players with him. But he's been fine when it comes to hitting opposite field. He's hitting over 300 which is kind of where I want my players to be at as I'm playing against the CPU. But we do end the inning there. Here's Casimir. He's facing Devin Travis and gets a strikeout. Low fastball around the knees. Got him to swing and miss. But here's Kevin Pillar now. Kevin Pillar, another speedy player. Don't want him to give him anything low in the infield or else he might beat it out, as we see him do there. But he did look out to me, so I did challenge the play. And this is where challenges this year in the game are very useful. When you play the CPU, umpires tend to make bad calls. And I don't know if this is on purpose, or it's trying to test your abilities as a manager, or maybe to see if they're out. Because you can't look at the replay until the challenge is over, where you decide to challenge it or not. And I just think, why not? Let's just challenge it if it was a close play. And it was good to me. But here's Donaldson. And even if you're playing a team on rookie, it is super important that you do not just give fastballs down the middle to their best hitters still. While it's on easiest difficulty, these guys are still insane players at their tier. Make sure you treat them like you would on Legend. And just be cautious. You could throw fastballs frequently like I am here. But just make sure if you're throwing to guys, especially Donaldson, that you don't give him anything to hit that he would want in real life. And we do get another strike in there. He fouls it off for like the third time in a row, I think. But again, Casimir is doing the best he can, and he finally gets him to swing at the outside fastball. So here's JD Martinez to lead off the next inning. And like I said, he's hitting very well. And what I like about JD Martinez is he does make plays in the outfield, and he hits a lot of line drives. And I find that really important because a line drive is the sort of speed a ball has when you hit something like a double. You don't see a lot of ground ball doubles unless they're down the line. So I feel like if he hits the ball hard, which is what I like in a player like him, outfielder who has power, hits for average, and makes plays out there on the field. Definitely a great all-around player if you'd have on your team. 84 overall for the Tigers. Make sure you go check him out. Jose Ramirez hasn't hit a home run for me yet and just misses it. He's the only one who has not hit a homer, in fact, but he just missed one. He was caught in the track by Bautista. And here's Posada. He's actually been pretty good in the meantime. 7 homers, 347 average. But I'm looking to replace him with a silver catcher like Gary Sanchez. Because Gary Sanchez is more of a great defensive catcher, while rookie Posada is not just the... He's all around, but he has nothing that stands out to me as great. Now we're in the next inning, though. Troy Tulowitzki batting cleanup for the Blue Jays. We have 2 strikes. He fouls off a pitch. These Blue Jays on rookie, well, they do get down the count easily. They do foul off a lot of pitches, and they do know when to take once in a while. So it's not like when you play on rookie that you get an easy outing or you're able to just strike them out in 3 pitches every once in a while, like every time down the order. It's just hard for you to try to get that third strike, and that's what I definitely struggled with. But here's Morales, Kendry Morales, another player on the Blue Jays with extreme power. Definitely, he's like Donaldson. While he doesn't get a lot of hits, if you give him an easy pitch to hit, or a fastball over the plate, or a hanging curveball or slider, he's going to crush it. It's simple as that. It's happened to me before in previous games I've played against Toronto, and it's bound to happen at any time here. We have an 0-2 count. We're going to give him a changeup down in the zone, and I think the fastballs and changeup at the knees have been the most effective pitches for me as we get Morales to ground out, especially against the computer. Once I give it's a great 2-strike pitch as well, because it sort of freezes them, because they think on 0-2 you're going to give them a pitch that is going to be a waste, and you're trying to see if they'll chase it. But if you give them a low pitch inside, maybe on the corner, you may get them to freeze for strike 3. You don't know. But yes, here we go. Toronto has Steve Pearce as well. He's not as good as he was for me, basically, but he still has power. 87 power versus righties, I think that stat is. And that's always a threat. And we have Casimir here, who's on the mound, who's a lefty, so it's not as much of a concern. And I definitely took this at bat easy. You don't have to be scared of these guys if you know how to pitch to them. Look at the beginning of an at-bat, the game will give you their hot and cold zones. You don't have to necessarily pitch in that cold square or zone every time as you get them looking on the outside corner. You just got to make sure that you locate your pitches where they need to be around that area. But here, you don't have to see Justin Upton. He's a great all-around player, pinch hitter. And we're just going to fast forward the rest of this game. You've seen the lineup. I've basically dissected everything you need to know. And after this game finishes out, we're going to go to the mission category. And I'm going to explain everything you need to know as Steve Pearce makes a final scoop for the win. We're giving hugs in the dugout, celebrating. But we win the game 2-0. Combined perfect game. Nice outing from Casimir. Kyle Barraclaw, my 84 reliever, got the save. And after every Conquest game, or any game against CPU, you get to this board. The higher the difficulty you play on, the better chance you have at landing a good card. You'll get a bunch of cards on a board. It could be any tier, any type of card that's available in packs or overall, or like on the market that you can get from Royale. I don't know how it really works, but basically you can get a variety of cards on that board. But yeah, we didn't get anything great there. We got Chris Davinsky and Jesus Aguilar. But let's go to the missions category, because I definitely have a lot to show you guys. And basically in the micro missions, which we're going to start off with, there's 17 missions with stats. And basically what they want you guys to do is collect a ridiculous amount of number of strikeouts, doubles, etc. And on your way there, you will unlock some player epics. For example, collecting half the number of strikeouts or a quarter or something like that, and etc. So you'll figure it out. With player epics are missions that come along with some players you unlock. For example, in the daily missions, player epics can be found here. You get 3 missions a day, and well, not a day. You have as many times as you need to complete these missions. But here is what it basically means. You get 3 missions, right? You can re-roll 1 a day. That's what I meant to say. And you get missions that will give you XP tickets, player epics, as I said, and more. So here's one I have called Under 24. It's when you have to hit a double with a player under 24 in a ranked seasons game. Once you complete a mission, you receive a new one. There's no time limit. It goes right to another mission. Missions are going to get stats in games. You'll have to beat teams in something. You'll have to collect items, exchange items. There's a lot of variety here, and that's what I love about these missions so much, is that you never know what you're going to get, and it gives you a challenge to do in any kind of style. It makes you play the game. But here's another one we have here. It's called the Legend Triple. It's ranked seasons. They want me to challenge. Not challenge. They want me to hit a triple with a legend player in a ranked seasons game. It's hard. It's a challenge though, and once you do that with a legend player, you get those XP and tickets. And then finally, I was lucky enough to acquire a player epic in one of my re-rolls recently. It's for a 92 breakout Will Clark. Basically, what his deal is, I have to unlock his player epic by hitting 2 hits with breakout players in the same battle royale game. So I'll let you guys know when I complete that. And the last mission I'm going to explain are Conquest missions. Basically, you have all 32 teams on the map. Once you conquer a team's stronghold or their strong, it doesn't matter if they have that stronghold or if their stronghold is possessed by the other team. Like, for example, we conquered the Blue Jays, but that was the original national stronghold, so we got credit for conquering their stronghold. Once we conquer all 32 teams, we'll get 5,000 XP, 250 stubs like that. Once you conquer all 5 teams in one division, you will get a reward, as well with and you can also unlock a command mission where you have to command the division. So I commanded the NL West, for example. Let's find the NL West. Well, we'll figure it out later, but I'll find it later for you guys. But once I conquer the NL West, I will unlock Command NL West, and in that sequence, I will have to, here it is, get 10 home runs with All-Star Series players in CPU or Conquest. And basically, say I have my 84 All-Star Griffey Jr., and I hit 10 home runs total with him against the CPU. Bang, I get an 89 Paul Goldschmidt, and there's a different player for every division, and etc. So once you come, there are 5, actually we're going to go back to that later. So there are 5 strongholds out of all 30 that, it's random for everybody. They contain Conquest packs, and basically Conquest pack is like a program pack. You get 4 players with an increased chance of live series, of flashbacks or legend players, which is pretty cool. As you can 5 strongholds away from winning. Once you conquer, I know that once you conquer the entire league, let's say you conquer the entire American League, you will receive yourself a Conquest pack as well. So that's pretty cool. I'm trying to work on this Catfish Hunter right now and the CC Sabathia. I'm going to create a video of me unlocking CC Sabathia since that's going to be the one I receive first. So basically, this is Conquest. You get 30 strongholds you have to beat. Once you beat all 30, you receive a 10-pack standard bundle. That's just 10 standard packs with your normal silver topper. So basically, I will explain player spotlight missions and all the other missions if you want me to in another video. But this has been JNG, and I hope you had a nice day. Peace.